Attention, Mountaineer family. The commencement ceremony is
carried by Dr. Helen Hartnett, Leadership Fellow and Professor of Social Work. The Reed College of Media marches behind a crimson banner, carried by Dr. Jasper Fessman, Visiting Assistant Professor of Strategic Communications. And the John Chambers College of Business and Economics marches behind a brown banner carried by Dr. Virginia Kleist, Associate Dean for Graduate Programs, Academic Operations, and Research. And now, please welcome members of the Platform Party. Dr. Gregory Dunaway, Dean, Eberly College of Arts and Sciences. Dr. Diana Martinelli, Dean, Reed College of Media. Dr. Javier Reyes, Milan Pushkar Dean, John Chambers College of Business and Economics. Dr. Keith Bailey, Assistant Provost for Teaching and Learning and Dean of WVU Online. Karen Diaz, Dean of Libraries. Members of the Senior Academic Administration of West Virginia University. Members of the West Virginia University Board of Governors. Nisha Sanghavi, today's commencement speaker. Grand Marshal Chad Proudfoot, carrying the University Mace. And Marianne Reed, West Virginia University's Provost and Vice President for Academic Affairs. Please rise for the singing of our national anthem, performed today by Katie Martin.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights, o'er the ramparts we watched, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Please remain standing for the singing of the Alma Mater.
Alma, our alma mater, the home of mountaineers, sing we of thy honor, everlasting through the years. Alma, our alma mater, we pledge that song to you. Hail, all hail our alma mater, West Virginia U.
You may be seated.
Good morning. On behalf of West Virginia University's faculty, staff, students, Board of Governors, and administration, I am delighted to welcome all of you to our December commencement ceremony. To our December graduates, we are here today to celebrate a milestone achievement in your life. This is a big day, representing a major accomplishment. During your time as a WVU student, you have faced and overcome a myriad of challenges. You've studied hard, worked hard, and perhaps played hard. But all of those efforts have finally paid off, because after today, assuming you pass your final exams, you will cross the finish line with your diploma in hand. Today is your day, a day to celebrate and take stock of how far you've come, a day to rest on your laurels before you begin the next leg of life's journey. Many of you are probably a bit anxious about what lies ahead. You're leaving the safety net of college and entering into a future that's exciting but also unknown. You're entering into a world that is changing by the minute, transformed by ideas, innovation, and technology. On this journey, there is no Google Maps or Wave app to guide you. There are so many directions you could take and some possible wrong turns. That's a bit scary, right? But I have a few thoughts to share that should give you comfort and allay your fears. First of all, thanks to your education at West Virginia University, you now have the tools and knowledge to be successful in the world. Your WVU degree has a value, and it will open the doors for you just as it has for our thousands and thousands of successful alumni, including today's amazing commencement speaker. Second, you have the talent, intellect, and fortitude that will serve you well in whatever career path you choose. We know that because we know you after our time together. Your degree has value, and so do you. Third, you can never be lost if you follow your own internal compass by paying attention to what your head is telling you, and more importantly, by listening to your heart. Lots and lots of people, including the people who love you best, will have ideas about what you should do and where you should go. But in the end, the most exciting journey is the one you chart for yourself. Find out what motivates you, what inspires you, what gives your life meaning and purpose. Trust me, nobody knows better than you the right path to take. Finally, here's the best news of all. In life's journey, there are no wrong turns. That's right. Whatever you do, wherever you go, you will encounter obstacles, and you will face challenges on the way. But you will find a way out and a way forward if you stay strong, are open to opportunity, and rely on family and friends to share in the good times and support you in the bad ones. And I can tell you from my own experience that the path you start out on may take you in unexpected directions. For example, when I graduated from college, sitting where you are, many moons ago, I thought I would have a career as a journalist. It was my life's passion to become a globe-trotting foreign correspondent, or so I thought. In fact, after a few wrong turns, I found my true calling as a professor, then as a dean, now as WVU's provost and chief academic officer. Had I not taken a few detours, not zigged instead of zagged, not listened to my intuition and the lessons of the heart, I would never have found my way here, to this place, to this podium, to this moment, where I get to celebrate your success and share in your joy, which from my vantage point is about as good as it gets. Somebody else who's reveling in your success today is the best university president in America, E. Gordon Gee. And while I couldn't be here in person, and he's very sad about that, Dr. Gee is here in spirit, and he has a message for you.
Greeting to our 2019 Mountaineer graduates, families, and friends. I am so sorry that I cannot be with you in person on this most important occasion in your life and our university's life. As you continue traveling toward your dreams in the years ahead, you will quickly learn to expect the occasional detour. So my doctor sent me down just such a byway this month. Apparently, being America's hippest university president is not enough anymore. They promise that by replacing my joints with a little plastic and titanium, they will make me ultra hip. The timing could not be worse, however, because I am missing the conclusion of a journey years in the making, propelled by hard work, sacrifice, and struggle. Of course, I'm talking about the premiere of Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker. I was all ready to cosplay as Baby Yoda, but I'm also talking about graduation and the culmination of your current saga. Over the past 40 years, I have presided at more graduation ceremonies than just about anyone on the planet. Commencement is a fuel to my soul, and each time I look out into a sea of graduates' happy, hopeful faces, I feel as excited as I did on my own college graduation day 51 years ago. Your West Virginia University story will have many sequels, each more full of drama, adventure, and surprising plot twists than the last. And every journeying hero requires an older, wiser mentor whose advice can smooth the path ahead. So, think of me as your Dumbledore to your Harry, the Gandalf to your Frodo, or yes, the Yoda to your Skywalker. And accept a few quick words of wisdom. Fear is the path to the dark side. In our angry age, true bravery is keeping your eyes open to new vistas, keeping your ears open to new ideas, and keeping your heart open to new friends. Always pass on what you have learned. That means letting others know that education opens doors to success. Finally, and above all, do or not do, there is no try. Life is about finding your purpose, and your choices should serve that purpose. You may not need to save the world, but you can use your passion and your knowledge to make it better. Mountaineer determination will guide you. The skills and strengths you have honed here will advance you. The goodwill of 200,000 other West Virginia University graduates will sustain you, and your own inner calling will drive you to do rather than try the right things. I cannot wait to see how your story unfolds. And since they say my hip replacement will give me a whole new lease on life, I should be around to watch for another 75 years. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's go.
And now I am truly pleased to turn the podium over to someone who exemplifies the Mountaineer spirit: to pursue a passion, follow your heart, and go first. Nisha Sangavi is the owner and president of women's collegiate brands UG Apparel and Chickadee, and it's likely that many of you own some of her pieces. Born and raised in Charleston, West Virginia, Nisha has always been a Mountaineer at heart. She attended West Virginia University and graduated in 2008 magna cum laude with degrees in finance and economics from the then College of Business and Economics. After graduation, she began her career as a financial analyst in Pittsburgh. As if the double major didn't keep her busy enough, Nisha was also a WVU varsity cheerleader. During trips across the country with the team, she noticed a lack of feminine apparel in WVU logoed clothing. Nisha saw an opportunity to introduce fashion to the collegiate apparel market, and she began building UG Apparel while still in school. Eventually, she decided to pursue her true passion and left her finance job to attend Parsons, the New School for Design, where she earned an associate's degree in fashion marketing. Since she first received her university licensing contract in 2009, Nisha has become a force in the women's sports licensed apparel industry, growing her brand to include 250 university contracts. Just this year, UG Apparel acquired the women's apparel company Chickadee and now has offices in West Virginia, Chicago, and Texas. Nisha was named West Virginia's 2016 Entrepreneur of the Year And this year, she was inducted in the John Chambers College of Business and Economics Roll of Distinguished Alumni, the youngest inductee ever to receive that honorary. Please help me welcome home Nisha Sangavi.
Hello, and congratulations to the class of 2019. My name is Nisha Sangavi. I am a born and raised West Virginian, and I'm a 2008 graduate of the West Virginia University College of Business and Economics, which is today the John Chambers College of Business and Economics. I'm now the owner of UG Apparel, a women's collegiate company that has 2 fashion brands. We produce clothing for over 250 universities across the country, and our products can be found in around 500 stores. Hopefully you've sported one of our items from the Book Exchange or the WVU bookstore. Thank you, Provost Reed and President Gee, for asking me to give this address. When they first asked me, I was quite taken aback, and I'm extremely honored to be here with you guys. I feel a great responsibility to inform you of what your experience may be over the next 10 years of your life, because not that long ago, I was sitting just where you are. I've been trying to figure out what words of wisdom can I leave you with today. But the truth is, everyone's ride is going to be different. I can only speak to my journey, but I've gone through some experiences that I want to share with you because I think they will be helpful as you start to navigate through the next chapters of your life. In your life, things may happen that don't make sense, and you'll experience challenges at pivotal moments. But as you navigate through these next several years, view every experience as something that will fuel your future, even if in the moment it all feels like total chaos. Through my journey, I've learned that everything happens for a reason, and there's always a lesson to be learned. If you stay focused and persistent and always trust your gut, you'll land on your feet and accomplish things that may only seem like a dream now. Growing up, I had no idea what I wanted to be. It's just not something that I really ever put much thought towards. I switched my major here at WVU 4 times. When I applied to WVU, there's a box on the application that you have to mark what your choice of major is. I looked at that box for several weeks and could not come up with an answer. My dad is an engineer, so at the last moment, I ticked the engineering box and said, all right, I'll be an engineer. But 2 weeks before the start of freshman year, I Googled, what does an engineer do? Whatever I read, I realized that profession was not for me, and I needed to change my major. In my Indian culture, it's somewhat instilled in you that your path to success is to either be a doctor or an engineer. So naturally, I then switched to pre-med. I studied pre-med here at WVU for 2 years, but I just could not shake the feeling that being a doctor wasn't for me. I knew I had to change my major, and my parents really started to freak out. Switching my majors around was the first time that I really truly listened to my gut. I didn't want to feel trapped in making a decision that would dictate the rest of my life. And so I just kept making these changes until something really felt right. It was then that I realized that all of this was up to me to figure out. When I started thinking about what major should I choose, I realized that growing up, I had a pattern of creating little businesses, and entrepreneurship was always in my life. When I was about 8 years old, I used to wear these metal hair clips, but they only came in black and gold. But being the fashionable 8-year-old that I was, I needed these hair clips to be in colors that matched my outfits. So I started painting them different colors with nail polish. I knew that I was onto something, and I thought other girls at school would definitely be interested in these as well. So I'd paint these hair clips at night. I would stick them in my pockets, and the next day at recess, I would try to hustle them out to little girls on their playground for their snack money. So obviously, I've felt that I've had a knack for business. My major changed to finance my junior year, and I finally felt at home in the business school. Now, you may have also grown up believing that there was a certain path already laid out for you. But if it doesn't feel right, Don't be afraid to make a change and figure it out as you go. Listen to yourself and take time to figure out your true passion. In 2008, after graduating with a degree in finance and economics, I accepted a financial analyst position in Pittsburgh. I was so excited to start my career. But after 6 months on that job, I started questioning where it would take me. Over lunch with my coworkers one day, we discussed our personal goals for the next 5 to 10 years. I was 22 at the time, around your all's age. When it was my turn to share, I said, I want to make $1 million before I turn 30. My coworkers stared at me with blank faces. One said, well, that'll never happen, and they all broke out in laughter. However, I was very serious when I said this. I mean, of course, I had no idea how I'd be able to make $1 million, but I just believed that I could. And instead of having my confidence be shaken, I took that as fuel to take control of my life. I decided I couldn't work for someone else, and I wanted to be in charge of creating my own success. I set this ambitious goal for myself and started thinking how I was going to accomplish it. And I remembered that I had this idea for a fashionable collegiate clothing line because while I was here attending WVU, I was a varsity cheerleader, and at football and basketball games, I noticed a lack of fashion in WVU apparel that women wore. So I started creating my own WVU clothing, and I would wear them here on campus. Many people would ask me about the tops and where they could purchase them. But while I was in college, I never thought of turning this into a business. So I just settled on pursuing this business idea, and I set new short-term and long-term goals for myself. I took a big risk, and I left that job in Pittsburgh to pursue a fashion marketing degree in New York City while simultaneously designing my clothing line and looking for a manufacturer. For the first time in my life, I felt passionate about where I was headed. I wasn't forcing myself into a box, and I knew I was in control. I felt more alive, self-motivated, and empowered by the idea of creating my own future. My first line of apparel launched in the fall of 2010, starting with WVU, and over the next 9 years, I continued growing and expanding my business. But this journey has been filled with countless challenges and obstacles. Just to name a few, my very first contracted manufacturer had a fire and lost everything I had invested in at that point. Several large universities have turned me down the first time I applied for their licensing contracts. And I've had to cold call major retailers that have never heard of me or my company and convince them to take meetings with me. It's definitely not been easy. Along the way, I've heard the words no, and you can't do that, more times than I can count. So there have been plenty of reasons for me to quit and go back to a regular job. But I've believed in this and in myself. I stayed persistent, and eventually things began to turn around. Today, my company has licensing contracts for over 250 universities in the US, and our products can be found in just about any store where you'd go to buy fan apparel. Class of 2019, your key to success is believing in yourself and relying on you. Believe that you can accomplish certain things as long as you are willing to work hard, stay tenacious, and self-motivated. Listen to your gut, take chances, and stay open to any and all opportunities that may cross your path. Know that your career choice of tomorrow may not be what you do in the next 5, 10, or even 15 years. Failure and disappointment are inevitably in your future, but during these times, you can define your true self. You should know that one of the most important relationships you will ever have is the one you have with yourself. You will find that you are capable of doing things you never thought possible. You will be constantly evolving if you stay true to yourself. Today on your graduation day, you are now in control of your life. Everything that will happen in your future is going to be a direct cause of the choices you make. You are the entrepreneur of your own life. Set a high standard for yourself and don't let others deter you away from that. When I worked in Pittsburgh and I told my colleagues that I wanted to make $1 million, it was not about the money. It was about proving to myself that I could achieve something so challenging if I was willing to put the work in and stay persistent. This is a short but very important message here. Please help others and spread kindness. I have always believed in karma, and it has served me well. If you are from West Virginia, I truly hope that you give back and invest in your community because this state truly needs you. My journey has been a combination of hard work and faith. Believe in what you're doing and that you can accomplish your goals. I hope that you guys can relate to my journey of not knowing what you want for your life. When you think about it, you may know all along what you want, but it's going to take going through the phases of what you don't want before it becomes clear. Enjoy that ride. It's full of roadblocks, but it's going to be a great adventure. Sitting in your seat, you may be very unsure of yourself and what's going to happen next, but I want to be proof for you that if you stay open to possibilities, keep setting goals, and stay persistent, you can build the life of your dreams. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please enjoy a performance of Simple Gifts.
Tis a gift to be simple, tis a gift to be free, tis a gift to calm down where you ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight. When true simplicity is gained, to bow and to bid, we shall not be ashamed. To turn, 'twill be our delight, till by turning, we come round right. 'Tis a gift to be simple, 'tis a gift to be free, 'tis a gift to calm down where you ought to be. And when we find ourselves in the place just right, 'twill be in the valley of love and delight.
As we begin the recognition of our graduates, the dean of each college is invited to step forward as his or her degree candidates approach the stage to join Provost Reed in congratulating the class of 2019. Provost Reed, we present to you the young men and women who fulfill the requirements for graduation from West Virginia University. I now present the candidates for graduation from the Eberly College of Arts and Sciences. Harry Chetri, Doctor of Philosophy, Biology. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in biology: Youssef Al-Mutari, Emily Elizabeth Bell, Marley Dinterman, Gabrielle Nicole Hara, Alexis Kibbe, Mackenzie Lynn Livengood, Caleb Thomas McGrath, Saeem Rana, Catherine Michelle Rondi, Farzan Salman, Dylan Bowen Sunseri, Alyssa Zika, now the bachelor's degree candidates in biochemistry: Madison Page Cooper, Matthew James Dombrowski, now the degree candidates in chemistry: Doctor of Philosophy Jessica Ann Rogers, now the bachelor's degree candidates in chemistry: Abby Cottrell, Gregory Arthur Moore, Sarah Marie Spencer, now the degree candidates in communication studies: Master of Arts degree Emma Reed Marie Caldwell, Master of Arts Taylor Alexandra Darty, Master of Arts Molly Elizabeth Farrell, Master of Arts Kelly Lynn Guthrie, Master of Arts Allison Suzanne Horner Hill, Anna Mariah Scott Hopkins, Alexa Ray Mapstone, Julian Miller, Matthew J. Mullen, Clayton Seldomridge, Aaron Shelton, Ashley Sinair Swain, Lavonda E. Taylor, now the bachelor's degree candidates in communication studies: Alex Ideos, Aisha Ajian Al-Shri, Emily Austin, Georgia Claire Baldus, Brooke Danielle Bucklew, Savannah Lee Chamberlain, Lindsay Elizabeth Hemmerich, Nicholas McCarthy, Mackenzie Marie Robinson, Kyron Salas, Kenny Curtis Stewart, now the bachelor's degree candidates in economics: Sarah Elizabeth Alway, now the bachelor's degree candidates in English: Victoria Marie Beddick, Savannah Nicole Carr, Liam Joseph Glass, Thomas Gleason, Jerica Lindsay Hose, Ida Irene Miller, Sarah Madison Moore, Shayna Reed, Kirsten Jenna Swales, bachelor's degree candidate in criminology and English: Cassidy Rebecca Zhang, Now the degree candidates in Forensic and Investigative Science, Master of Science degree, Kayla Bex. Nicholas Alexander Haas. Alice Kim. Taylor Kepfler. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in Forensic and Investigative Science. Ryan Aaron Gade. Abby Christine Hall. Deborah Ann Means. Now the degree candidates in Geography, Doctor of Philosophy, Kristen DeGraw. Doctor of Philosophy and Geography, Park McMillan Muhanda. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in Geography, also with a graduate degree in International Studies, Brianna Paul. Bachelor of Arts degree in Latin American Studies, Women's and Gender Studies, and Geography, Cassandra Colon. Master of Arts degree in Geography, Amanda E. Adams. Master of Arts in Geography, Christine Elizabeth Witt. Bachelor's degree candidates in Geography, Noah Patrick O'Brien. Michael Jamal Pinkney. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in Geology, Ahmed Ibrahim Al-Isa. Mohammed Khalid Al-Buqadar. Abdullah Amatlak. Ryan Anders. Ryan Thomas Cox. Logan Sayers. Rakan Ihab Katab. Silamulala Makubila. Ahmed Mohsen. Emma Brooke Stortz. Bachelor's degree candidates in Environmental Geoscience, Chad Ryan Abel. Walter Osborne Johnson III. Scott Sexton. Matthew Thomas Suey. Aaron Vaughn Tolson. Now the degree candidates in History, Doctor of Philosophy, Tamara Denmark Bailey. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in History, Joseph M. Butcher. Tyler Joseph Carpentier. Kelly Dion. Tyler Miles Handebo. Gordon Race Cafus. Matthew Ridgely Larry. Court James Patterson. Nicholas Joseph Reeder. Sarah Elizabeth Schertle. David Richard Smith. Dylan Christopher Shue. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in International Studies, Rena Merle Aloy Dorr. Morgan Alexandra Skaggs, Brandon Mark Wright, now the degree candidates in mathematics. Doctor of Philosophy, Ishman Daw Ahmad Ali bin Shadi. Doctor of Philosophy and Mathematics, Osama Ahmad El Sarar. Master's degree candidates in mathematics, Ziad Bousaf, Zhao Zhu. And now the bachelor's degree candidates. In mathematics and physics, Kenneth James Seibel. Bachelor of Science in Industrial Math and Statistics, Brannon Nathaniel Jones. Isong Kwan. Miranda Marie Murphy. Now the Regents Bachelor of Arts degree candidates, Thomas Patrick Anderson. Bachelor's degree candidates in multidisciplinary studies, Dylan James Bowers. Kadisha Sherry Shirley Buchanan. Tyler Wesley Cook. Susan Jane Copenhaver. Christopher Disney. Eric Finch. Giovanni Lee Haskins. Laurel Elizabeth Hassan. Summer Marie Hendricks. Kirsten Howenstein. Moisha Lasandra Lee Johnson. Ariana Logwood. Jordan Nicole Mathis. Brian Shea Campbell. John Henry McCrossan. James Nucci. David Petrucci. Martel Petaway. Barbara Elaine Ruziska. Victoria Nicole Sakalos. Zachary Thomas Sandwich. Taylor Ashley Sisk. Margaret Elizabeth Smith. Melissa Rose Trainee. Renee Suzanne Winters. Sean David Woodland. Bachelor's degree candidates in interdisciplinary studies, Luke Rousey. Now the degree candidates in physics, Doctor of Philosophy, Amy Elizabeth Sardone. Doctor of Philosophy in Physics, Theodore Scott Lane. Doctor of Philosophy in Physics, Cabot Zabriskie. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in political science, Mahar Ali Abbas. Michael Sean Alford Jr. Lucas Scott Blankenship. Mia Rosalie Del Borello. Michael Allen Eskridge, John Norman Fetty III, Jenna Hollingsworth, Erica Lynn Howell, Omosade Arabor, Blake Andrew Jacobs, Connor Gordon LeCount, Lojane El Toebi, Robert Douglas Macomb Jr., Timothy Thaddeus Malloy, Angeline Victoria Mullen, Travis Daniel Nupp, Leonardo Sanchez, Natalino Suarez, Grayson Cole Teets, Shelby Renee Turley, Madeline Grace Walker. Now the degree candidates in psychology. Doctor of Philosophy, Matthew Leland Eckerd. Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology, Nicholas Fusellini. Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology, Julie Ann Lutz. Doctor of Philosophy in Psychology, Jennifer Oceani. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in psychology, Hannah Nicole Amick, Jacob P. Blankenship, Cassidy Bowling, Adam Carr, Alexandra Marie Davis, Danielle Alexandra Kisner, Kathleen Ann Koval, Gabrielle Rose Portillo, Alexandra Nicole Rundle, Sierra Sells, Savannah Valera Parks, Erin Lynn Branshaw, Samuel Chittum, Dominique Costitini, Hannah Faith Coster, Jessica Mary Duran, Ashley Nicole Zink, Trey Daniel Faulkner, Lauren P. Giesler, Bethany Grace Heberling, Sydney Ray Leatherman, Jessica Lisi, Catherine Joan Meredith, Logan Grant Minnix, Haley Danielle Neal, Bryce Allen Pruitt, Cassidy Althea Ruggiero, Natalie Sage, Julia Mary Schutig, Alyssa Michelle Sino, Alexandra Laurel Shears, Jalen Michelle Tuck, Amber Rochelle Lynn Turley, Quintasia Capri Williams, Kendra Michelle DeWitt, Ayantu Deguma, Regents Bachelor of Arts, Christopher Brian Arthurs, Gregory Belcher, Jennifer Booth, Michael Brazo, Kelsey Carter, Mateo Anthony Collette, Catherine Davis, Cody Ray Denler, Noel Devine, Jonathan Dower, Alexander Michael Eckert, Tiffany Edwards, Kistiman Dean Epps, Terrence Garvin, Michael Thomas Green, Joseph John Guerreri, Matthew Allen Hall, Chase Hardway, Samantha Rose Hauser, Adam Jude Herrick, Brittany Height, Ryan Hooker, Samantha Michelle Houston, Antonio Douglas Jenkins, Benjamin Johnson, Philip Avery Jordan, Allie Lynn Lambert, Ellis Ashton Lambert, James Litton, Thomas Ian Lyle, Morgan A. McCardle, Ashley Marie McCown, Priscilla Ellen Minter, Lindsay Brooke Moore, Roger Mullins, Raymond A. Perrick Jr., Daniel Rodriguez, Peggy Ann Runyon, Joseph Patrick Sarsfield, Brittany Sue Schmid, Jared Leo Smith, Charmille Danita Smith, Michael Southern, Jonathan Shea Stankus, Rachel Holland Stasi, Rebecca Stevens, Angela Straw, Ashley Ann Tennant, Julietta Vogt, Joseph Raymond Volzer, Sherry Renee Weaver, Chandler Edward Weber, Rebecca Lee Williams, Caitlin Brooke Adkins, Bachelor of Arts in Religious Studies, Ashling Ember North Hilling, Bachelor of Arts in Anthropology. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in sociology: Emerald Che Evans, Paige Ashby Menzella. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in criminology: Olivia Lynn Benevento, Jerome Bernard Brown Jr., Zachary J. Coleman, Ian Michael Cox, Stephanie Lynn Cummins, Holly Dawn D'Angelo, Zachary Ryan DeFrank, Brianna Isles, William James Fenton Jr., James Gouldman, Michael Drum Helstern, Mackenzie Lynn Carl, John Hunter Kirby, Hunter List, Brianna McDuffie, Nathan James Monroe, Abigail Lorraine Namath, Foster Johnson Phillips, Jordan Poquat, Carla Roca, Ferdinand Roman Somalio, Adeline Severe, Madison Schaefer, John Tokars, Azato Taggart, Jacob Matthew Wagner. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in women's and gender studies: Benjamin Barnes, Kendall Lynn Curry, now the degree candidates in world languages, literatures, and linguistics: Master of Arts, Shannon Ballard, Anis Husseini, Now the bachelor's degree candidates in world languages, literatures, and linguistics: Samantha Marie McKenzie, Morgan Andrew Safransky, I now present the candidates for graduation from the Reed College of Media. Now presenting the candidates for Master of Science in Integrated Marketing Communications: Dejanae Baker, Mara Elizabeth Diaz, Bethany Kaylin Friend, Raymond Walter Gaddis, Anthony James Kist, Kyle Joseph Laser, Lindsay Marie Litterini, Caitlin Ann McCory, Wendy Silcott Mackay, Ashley Karen Mannings, Rebecca Louise Morgan, Jamie Lynn Nelson, Catherine Patterson, Maurice Christopher Pierce Sr., Mara Noel Regling, Jean Ann Renshaw, Janice Burr Rooney, Jason L. Sargis, Carrie Michelle Shade, Rachel Catherine Teeter, now presenting the candidates for Bachelor of Arts in Multidisciplinary Studies: Kyle Andrew Anderson, Lindsay Marie Chamberlain, McKenna Elise Clippert, Lauren Nicole Giachi, Benjamin Halprin, Lauren Diane Perky, Garrett Jack Savage. Now presenting the candidates for Bachelor of Science in Journalism: Mitchell Blayhut, Milana Elise Chico, Desiree Hines, Owen Neal Howland, Christian Alexandra Leonard, Erin Nicole Slindy, Avery Michelle Smith, Shelby Louise Thoburn, Caitlin Marie Woodall, Charles Austin Wright, Arizona Sky Stedman. Now presenting the candidates for Bachelor of Science in Journalism Strategic Communications: Dana Olastatten, Dalton Lee Benedict, Ruth Ann Deely, Mia Anise Catherine Edmondson, Autumn Rose Elliott, John Geisler, Nolan L. Hutwelker, John William Cleesis, Adam Terrell Parker, Jocelyn Leon, Paige Alexandra Lenhart, Ann Elizabeth Parker, Emmy Ann Reinhardt, Samantha Grace Smith, Angela Joy I now present the candidates for graduation from the John Chambers College of Business and Economics. Dollar Agbemadon, Toby Kreitz, Donna Nadea Esguerra, Benjamin Gandy, Carl Gove, Masters in Business Administration, Charlene Maury, Kelly Nicole Reinert, Benjamin Jeffrey Roberts, Ann Schnatterly, Candace Shiflett, Michael Shane Welter, Dr. Christina Marie Williams, Masters of Accountancy, Zoe Caitlin Barr, Brian T. George, Shaylin Brooke Sterler, Master's degree in Finance, Emily Currat, Corey D. Shetler, Now the master's degree candidates in forensic and fraud examination. Stefan Paul Nordzik. Now the bachelor's degree candidates in economics. Benjamin Colacerto, Cody Prizer, Ian Andrew Wiley, Abdullah Al Abdullah, now the bachelor's degree candidates in accounting. Caitlin Elizabeth Billiter, Oscar Celadon, John Jones, John Ham, Hannah Mara, Emily Ann Mathis, Victoria A. Nestor, Eli Aaron Pavelak, Alicia Nicole Staff, Emily Nicole Teets, Jordan Naomi Van Orsdale, Anthony Ventura, Brennan Vincent, Jonathan Watson, Shauna Webb, Sabrina Wood, Edison Zhang, Faisal Almorzoa, Jenna K. Breon, Carter Camp, Frederick Anthony Chiampa, Dylan Kress, Joshua Gudamut, James Kellett, Renate Francisca Quete, Ethan Olson, Dalton Parson, Joel Ridenauer, Mary Kate Riley, Tyler Samodi, Nicholas Tesler, Ross Noble Thompson, Colin Ziegler, General Business, Jonathan T. Albert, Wai Chong, Carolyn Everly Ernstus, William T. Gerke, Dalen Grimm, Jared Matthew Hood, Thomas Joseph Hopkins, Alicia Nicole Hudkins, Zachary Humphrey, John Joseph Morosky, Chase Notari, Adam Michael Perry, Kevin Rotolo, Tyler Watts, Zhang Zhang, Lijong Zhang, Justin Allen Anseline, Patrick Lipinski, Emily Meltzer, Thomas Joseph Barlow Jr., Samantha Marie Dembo, Thomas Anthony Gigioli, Austin Jacob Miller, Samar Mubarak Abdullah Al-Falahi, Khalifa Al-Barti, Erica Lynn Barnes, Andrew Connor, Jessica Ann Guglamini, Donald Hahn, Kelsey Holmes, Caitlin Cruiser, Franklin Theodore Lee, Richard O'Donnell, Jessica Lynn Ulet, John Visted, Justin Lee Williams, Joseph Auber, Ryan Dean Burrell, Jacob Buccigrossi, Jason Andrew Damaski, David Patrick Donnelly, Evan Hall, Nicholas Ronald Higgins, Tyler Graham Kenny, James Michael Kikilidis, Nicholas Stephen Mila, Stevie Miller, Cullen Parker Poynton, Robert Ramey III, Alexander Jonathan Weaver, Brandon Matthew White, Helen Zhang. Now the degree candidates in marketing: Bader Yukab Al-Badir, Marwa Yusuf Al-Mullah, Hannah Mary Ciarola, Alexander Dale, Jerry L. Dooley, Tyler Emmerling, James E. Fry III, Logan T. Freifogel, Danielle Lauren Gordon, Samantha Jahoda, Parker Komisky, Jacob Kubik, Joseph Anthony Maldonado, Daniel Patrick Lyle Mayfield, Tanner Lee Patterson, Clayton Rudolph Quintanar, Cody Shawman. Tyler Tarian. Alex Twynham. Provost Reed, this concludes the presentation of the candidates for graduation.
All right. All right, very proud parents in the background. So this is it. The last time we can refer to you as students. As soon as I confer your degrees, you will become graduates and alumni of West Virginia University. That's pretty darn exciting, isn't it? I know I speak on behalf of everyone here. We are so thankful that you chose West Virginia University for your education and as your home away from home. We are so proud of your accomplishments, and we can't wait to see where your journey takes you next. As you take those next steps, remember to stay close to your family, the people who will stand by you no matter what. Be grateful for their love and support. And now I'd like to ask the parents and the family members of today's graduates to please stand and accept our thanks and gratitude. Also, stay in touch with your professors, who are also so very proud of you. They have enlightened you with new ideas and empowered you to push beyond your boundaries. Would West Virginia University's faculty members please stand and be recognized? And finally, no matter where life takes you, be sure to keep the gold and blue spirit alive in your heart, showing others what can be achieved here. Here is where you found your purpose and your passion, and hopefully your friends for life. Here is where many of you started school as teenagers and are now leaving as young adults, future scholars and professionals. Please know that our faculty, staff, advisors, and administrators will always be here for you. Whether you need that recommendation letter or just an attaboy or attagirl, just ask and we will deliver. We are now part of your extended family, here to support you, cheer you on, and to brag about your success. And just remember that no matter where life takes you, no matter how far you travel, you will always have a place where you belong at West Virginia University. Once a mountaineer, always a mountaineer. So let's go. All right, graduates, please stand. Now, By virtue of the authority vested in me by the West Virginia University Board of Governors, I hereby confer upon you the degrees for which you have been recommended, with all the rights, honors, and privileges appertaining thereto. As West Virginia University's newest graduates, you may move your tassels to the left side of your cap. Congratulations, class of 2019.
Please remain standing. Graduates, university marshals will release you in an orderly manner after the platform party exits the floor.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, all my memories gather round her. Mindless lady, stranger to blue water, dark and dusty, painted on the sky. Missed a taste of moonshine, teardrops in my eyes. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home. Country roads, I hear her voice in the morning hours. She calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday, Lord, yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place